What's going on, people in YouTube land? Kimchi Chris here, and welcome to today's video. Part 3 of the Total Isolation series, a video I didn't want to make. I didn't want to make this one. I didn't want to make it. That's a wonderful way to welcome you to the video and to encourage you to watch it by saying, oh, I didn't want to do this. But the reason for that is that I didn't want Part 3 to happen. I didn't want there to be a Total Isolation 3. But if you just clicked on this and did not watch the first 2 parts of Total Isolation, you might be wondering why that is. If you did watch them, you probably understand it. Basically, these have been my monthly-ish check-ins from quarantine, from pandemic 2020. And while the first 2 focused on primarily myself, my lack of motivation, the inability to leave the house, the weird, unknowing of the future, Part 3 here, it's a whole nother beast. A beast that I really just wished I didn't have to tackle on the channel. I didn't think I ever would have to tackle this on the channel, but here we are. Here we are tackling the subject matter at hand. So part 2 of Total Isolation was released on May 24th, 2020. And if you're good with your dates, you know what happened on May 25th, 2020. The world changed. Forever, possibly. We don't know what the lasting implications are going to be, but, I don't have to give you guys a huge summary of what happened on that day. You're smart people out there in the Kimchi Chris community. The George Floyd situation happened. And I just filmed a version of this video where I talked about this situation a lot less than I probably should have. Because I say that this is an entertainment channel. This is a channel about escapism, but unfortunately sometimes the world just gets a little too real and you can't escape it. And while I don't think it's every person's place necessarily that's an entertainer to tell you about politics and whatnot, I also feel that it's a disservice not only to myself but to you guys to not share a little bit of my opinions and honestly some facts about this, because we all know what's been happening out there. We all know about the protest, the riots, all of that. We know about it all. We've seen it all. Some of our cities have been hit by it harder than others. Here in Nashville, we definitely saw our fair share of it. It wasn't as bad as some other cities, but we were on lockdown just like a lot of other places. I mean, I think the whole country was on a lockdown curfew for quite a few nights there because our guy in charge just couldn't figure out what to do. But with all that being said, I hate that this is what really took the pot to kind of boil over, so to speak, but it's something that was needed. This is not something new, guys. This is not new at all. This is a problem that we've had forever. Learned racism, taught racism, systematic racism. Regardless of if you agree with the means of people protesting and then sometimes it turning into violent riots, I think most people, with a brain at least, can agree that these are bad things. Racism's bad, just like sexism, just like homophobia. Any type of bigotry is bad. And it's something we can't ignore, and you're not gonna change a racist mindset overnight just because you burn down City Hall or something like that. But hopefully, some repercussions will start to happen from this if you do it at the very least at your place of employment. And it's not just something that African Americans experience, it's all people of color in general. And again, sexism, homophobia, it doesn't matter who you are. Someone out there will not like you. If you love everyone, someone's gonna hate you because you love everyone. So it's a difficult thing to really get everybody on the same page. It's not possible at the end of the day either, but it's just so interesting that there have been so many people out there just spouting off their mouths and doing things they shouldn't do during this time. And you might say that I fall into that category now because I agree with the whole Black Lives Matter movement. But at the end of the day, if you're racist, we don't need you here on the Kimchi Chris channel. And you better believe I'm going to be watching the comments on this video like a hawk, because if anybody tries to spread any hate there, then they're just going to get removed. But with that being said, I think we've built a community here that's pretty accepting and pretty open. There's obviously some trolls out there, but I feel a lot of those we've kind of pushed to the side regardless, because I don't make a lot of those videos that bring the trolls in as much anymore, so that's a very good thing. But we're not going to go super deep into this. We could sit here for 30 minutes about this, but I just do feel that, letting you guys know how I feel about this, it's very important to know that we can't let this continue on. If you see anyone, not just a cop, if you see someone at your place of work, if you see someone on the street, if you see someone being harassed or bullied, and it seems like it might be racially tinged, or, you know, because of their sex or because of anything that is not acceptable, say something about it, do something about it. If they're being bullied because they're actually doing something wrong, sure. If someone's stealing something from a store, sure, they should get in trouble for that. But even then, the punishment needs to fit the crime. If somebody is stealing a bag of chips, you shouldn't beat them up, you know, just to kind of put it bluntly. So with all that being said, I'm really glad that we are hopefully going to see some changes soon. But we don't know. We don't know the full repercussions of this. Maybe a year from now, we'll have an idea of how this all really affected everything. I know there are a lot of places that are completely breaking down and rebuilding their police infrastructure, which is good. And hopefully a year from now, we'll really see some changes. But until then, we're living in a world that you just gotta watch yourself in. But luckily, thanks to these guys, we can film a lot of stuff, even though that doesn't do any good for someone like George Floyd, who's no longer with us. But if you ever feel like you're in fear, or think that you're gonna get hurt, or think that just anything bad could happen to you when dealing with a person of authority, again, be it a cop, be it someone at your job, you can film it. You can just do the audio if you have to. You can do something. We have ways to at least somewhat protect ourselves now. So that's a very good thing. That's a very good thing indeed. And then on top of that, we of course have all the things with the Confederate flag right now happening. You know what's happening. It's basically getting banned everywhere. It's being completely canceled out of our culture. And I have to say on that one, I applaud it. Yeah. I'm one of those people that's from the South. I'm from Nashville. And, you know, the main argument with anyone that's wanting to keep that out of date, just symbol of hatred in our culture is heritage. And they never really say it heritage. They're heritage, my heritage. What does that mean? What does that mean to you when you're 25 and you drink Natty Lights on the weekend with all of your other Chad friends? What does that really mean? It's not your heritage. It's what you've been taught. Similar to the systematic racism we were just talking about. So I am so excited that that's just being completely taken out of our culture, because ever since I was small, I knew about the Confederate flag. I'm from Nashville. Again, I know what the Confederate flag is. Believe me, I've seen a lot of them in my time. And to me, the Confederate flag represents hatred, racism, pure evil, and not like the cool, like, you know, King Diamond type of evil. It represents just the worst type of person that is so judgmental. And you stay away from people that are wearing a Confederate flag shirt, that have the Confederate flag on their car, Dukes of Hazzard style. You stay away from people that have it tattooed on their arm, because you just never know what those people are going to do. Those are the people that I'm scared of. The people that are pro Confederate flag in 2020. Why is this even an issue? That thing is just so ridiculous. I'm just so happy it's finally being taken away, and that all the statues of all these people that did all these racist things are just, they're being taken away. They're being taken away. I'm so happy about that. I'm proud of everyone that is putting their foot down with that. I'm proud of NASCAR, of all places. When NASCAR is telling you that's a little bit too racist, it's really saying something there. I'm not saying everyone that watches NASCAR is racist, far from it, but you know, if you watch NASCAR, that's a culture that generally accepts things like that, and they just kind of, you know, kind of turn their head and just kind of, oh, all right, that's cool. But you know, when NASCAR is saying no to something, that's a step in the right direction. And even on that, ICP released a shirt recently just completely against the Confederate flag, and I'm not saying they've ever been for it. They're actually quite the opposite. It's funny because ICP is kind of associated with like a redneck fan base, but they've always been very anti-hatred and things of that nature in their songs, which is interesting. It's a weird thing to think about, but nonetheless, I'm so happy that the Confederate flag is being canceled out of our culture. It's been needed for a long time, and we're finally there. Thank God, in 2020, we're finally to a place where we can get rid of that symbol of hate. But then on top of all of these things, something that a lot of people are forgetting and choosing to ignore, the pandemic's still here. It hasn't went away. People are going out in public without their masks, and it's terrifying to me. You need to be wearing this thing anywhere that you go in public. I don't care that you have a harder time breathing. I don't care that it muffles your voice just a little bit as we're seeing right now. You need to be wearing this thing. It's okay, you're gonna be fine. Put on some gloves while you're at it, wash your hands. It's gonna be fine. This is what you need to do. Because the numbers are going up, guys. I don't care what a lot of people say of it, it's over and it's in the past and it was never real. The numbers are going up, guys. They really are. And a lot of people are saying we're in phase 2. I don't even know that that's necessarily the case. I think that phase 1 wasn't quite over, and then a lot of stuff happened, and it just kind of got back to on the upswing, and phase 2 is gonna happen later. I could be wrong on that, I hope I am, but it's not gone. You know, I mean, America might be done with this pandemic, but guess what? The pandemic's not done with us. We basically started the battle and we did a pretty good job. I think a lot of people just kind of wanted a break. They wanted a vacation in the beginning. Now they're bored, so they're done with it. But guess what? People are still dying every day from this disease. You gotta be careful out there. I don't know why all these places are reopening. I guess all the Chads and all the Karens of the world really need to go out there and get drunk on a Wednesday night on their natty lights at a bar because they can't do that at their house. Apparently that's just out of the question for them. And this is one decision that you make that affects everybody, because if we don't all do the right thing right now, we're all gonna deal with this a lot longer. I don't know when things are gonna get back to normal. Nobody knows that. Even the doctors don't know that. But I can guarantee you, if you're going out and you're not doing anything that you should be doing, it's gonna last a lot longer because you really just need to get out there that one night. Was it worth it for you? Probably so at the time. Was it worth it for all the rest of us that are doing the things we should? Definitely not. So it's basically a very scary world out there, be it for the racial injustice side of things, for the Confederate flag toting redneck side of things, or the pandemic side of things. It's a weird time in the world and it feels like everything's falling apart. But that's probably not what you came to this video for. If you watched the first 2 parts, you wanted to know what was going on with me, what was going on with the channel, what was going on with my life. So we'll just summarize all that really quickly. Yeah, I'm still putting out YouTube videos. Yeah, I'm still listening to music. Yeah, I'm still playing video games. Started my Twitch channel, Kimchi_gamer. That's what I am on Twitch. Go check it out. I'll do a formal announcement video soon. But all those things just seem so much less important right now. But at the same time, entertainment is important, escapism is important, and this is the only video I'm going to make hopefully on this subject matter. So if you really hated it, I'm sorry, but things will return to normal on this channel very, very soon. I am also doing live streams every other week now. So if you're watching the video when it's brand new, this will be the week that we do a live stream on Friday, more than likely. I'll make an announcement a day or two beforehand, maybe the day of, I don't know. Live streams are fun though. We're doing those more often. And that's really all there is to say. So what do you guys think about all this stuff? Have you experienced some weird things since all this has happened? Let me know in the comments below. Again, remember, if you put anything hateful, it's gonna get removed, but I would love to know your opinions on this because this is a time for everybody to come together and kind of just show everyone that we're all human and we all love rock and roll. So let me know about that in the comments below. If you are new around here and this was somehow your first video, what a weird first video to experience. Hit that subscribe button though and hit the little alarm so you get the updates. Give this video a thumbs up. And again, my name is Kimchi Chris and I will see you guys on the next video.